Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cody, and today I'm going to be sharing how you launch a successful business from day one. Now, there's goals, roles, and monetization, and that's really it when it comes down to launching a successful company. Do you need to know how to file an LLC? Sure. If you're going to start your company, you might want to figure out an LLC. But really, what it boils down to is the speed at which you can go from nothing to making your first dollar. And the quicker you can get that, the quicker you're going to determine whether it's a winning idea or not. So, number one, you need to map out the goals of the organization. Write it down, figure out what you're really trying to achieve. A lot of people get into business, and really what it creates is a lot of busyness. You don't want to be busy. You want to figure out, how do I get money in the door ethically, legally, responsibly, so that I can pay my bills and live the life I want to live. Most people just look at it as, well, I'd like to make X amount of money and work this many hours. You should figure out what you really want out of the company. Figure out what would be an ideal scene if everything worked, because there are going to be situations in your business cycle where things don't work. However, there's also going to be situations where everything will play out the way you hoped. So you need to map that out. If everything went perfect, what would you want out of the company? Next up, you got to get your roles figured out. It's one thing to have your goals, but what are the roles of the organization? Who's going to be doing what in the company? If it's just you and you can't do everything, you can't wear every hat. You want to work on the business, not in the business. You need to figure out, okay, what are going to be the roles to get us from ground zero to operating, and then at a maintenance level where you could work in the business, you could work on the business, you could take a step back. These are things you should identify from day one. And a lot of people don't do this. So once you mapped out your goals, what you're trying to get out of it, who you're going to need, you don't need to know the exact people yet, but you need to know what those people would be doing. You map those out. Then you have to figure out monetization. Money, for some reason, is the awkward question. People don't like to talk about it. However, business is about money. And what you do with the money, you can go help a lot of people. You can help yourself. You can move yourself forward, move other people forward. A lot of things you can do. However, it boils down to, businesses are typically for profit, whether it's profit for you or profit for boosting up the community. You need to map out how you monetize the business. In real estate, you have profit via rents. Your rents come in, your expenses go out. And if you did good math and a good acquisition, then you have profit at the end of the day. If you're in a cleaning company, if you're not going to be the one doing the cleaning, you're hiring someone in that's in that roles category. Is there enough margin in that specific location where you can charge X amount and pay X amount and have a profit at the end of the day? But you need to figure out, how do you build up your monetization? How do you build that out relatively quickly? Because if that plays out for a long period of time and you don't have any money coming in, you will lose the motivation to move forward. And that's a very tough place to be. It's like that deal fatigue that a lot of people get stuck in, or they're working on a deal or they're working on an opportunity. It takes too long to get to the finish line and they quit. When we first started Multifamily Strategy, one of my very first companies that was outside of real estate, it took 1 hour to get our first sale. We didn't have a product yet. We had an idea. We shared it with someone and sold it on pre-order. But the monetization came in very quickly. You need to be able to map that out. So in summary for today's video, if you're building the business or you're starting from day one, you need to map out your goals in writing, the roles, what you're going to need to actually, who you're going to need to execute your idea. And lastly, the monetization. Don't skip that step, and you can launch your successful business.